Music Manic.
Three, two, one. We are in a different studio today, so if the sound sounds that ain't my fault. I'm sorry.
You can hear me here, and you can hear me
Yeah.
all the way over here.
You can hear me from over here. Hopefully.
Well, we can. Yeah. We can pass our microphones around so easy right now.
Yeah. Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Music Manic, the show where we talk about albums we like. Today, it's kind of special because you're a vampire now, and
I'm Dracula. I'm gonna suck your blood.
I'm a furry.
That's pretty cool.
Code word for, oh god, my ears are pointy, and oh god, I have fangs.
He has the Worgen curse.
I do, yeah. Don't go out to random British fields at like 2 a.m. because that will happen to you.
Don't go to
Anyways,
Gilnay City at 3 a.m.
Exactly. But anyways, it's quite fitting that we are now monsters because it's October, which means it's almost Halloween, and Halloween, fun fact, is my favorite holiday.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and
that's
I love horror movies. So today, I thought, oh, hey, since it's October and it's almost Halloween, we play around a bit with the album choice. So today, we are talking about 2019's There Existed an Addiction to Blood by experimental hip-hop trio Clipping. The good shit, honestly.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, spoilers. So, this is your first Clipping album, huh?
I mean, spoiler alert, nothing on it was bad at all. It was really good.
I finally got you on that Clipping shit.
Yeah, I'll listen to it more on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like more and more of his albums and such.
Yeah, Clipping, if you don't know, is, again, an experimental industrial hip-hop group that was
Industrial,
formed
you say?
in 2009. Yes, industrial.
Well.
Members include William Hudson and Jonathan Snipes as producers, and my man, David Diggs, as lead rapper. And that name may sound familiar to you because he is also an actor. He played the teacher in Wonder. He was on Sesame Street. He made songs. And also played a little-known character known as Thomas Jefferson in the Broadway adaptation of Hamilton.
Wait,
Yeah,
wow.
that guy.
That's really cool.
That guy, yeah. And here he is, rapping about how to cut bodies off. Quite the contrast from Sesame Street. But anyway, Clipping, I've been familiar with their work since January of this year, the year of our Lord 2025. I found them when I was going through my quote-unquote death grips phase, which was basically me trying to find any experimental hip-hop album I could find because I was just really into that. My autism was kind of on the rise during January. But I randomly found Clipping through Apple Music's recommendations, and this album in particular stuck out to me because, I mean, look at the cover. That's 49 nails. They're looking right at me. I hate nails. I wish they were 9 inches. Anyway.
I think the first time I heard of a Clipping album, I don't remember if it was this one or the follow-up album.
Spoilers.
It was, spoiler alert, man. There was it's an artist I like from, I think she's in Poland now. And she spoke a little about one of these albums and how it like inspired the way she thinks about music when she's writing her music. I didn't check it out then, but I'm glad I checked it out now.
Yeah,
I really see where she was coming from.
I got you on that Clipping shit.
You did.
I did. It's Clipping.
It's Clipping time.
It's Clipping time. Anyway, formed in 2009. This is their third record, like I said earlier. Their first record, they're self-titled, without the. I really love their self-titled. It honestly might be my favorite of their discography. It's way more industrial than this album, but the production, oh my god, it's so good. It is so good. And their second album that followed, Splendor and Misery, which I have talked to you about in the past, that is a sci-fi concept album about a ship falling in love with a guy who was part of a slave uprising.
I remember this one.
Go listen to that if you're into like weird shit.
Okay.
It's really good. But
I'll
anyways,
take a little gander.
But that was in 2015. 4 years have passed since then. In 2019, randomly, out of the blue, we got this album. There Existed an Addiction to Blood. which, if you haven't already caught on already, is a horrorcore album.
I'm Dracula. I'm gonna suck your blood.
Yeah, and I'm a werewolf, and I'm gonna.
Well, now there's a lot of blood out there.
Yeah. If you're unfamiliar with horrorcore, I don't really blame you, because horrorcore was not, I wouldn't say like very popular in the 90s, but it was more prominent.
90s.
Some like hip hop groups, like the first one I can think of from the top of my head, Gravediggers, they were very prominent in the horrorcore scene. And if you don't know what horrorcore is, basically, you take a normal rap song and you talk about like murder and death, cutting people up, basically gory shit. Also known as the music that my mom would not allow me to listen to if she ever found out that I listened to this kind of music. But that's horrorcore, and horrorcore.
Rebel.
What's that?
I said you're a little rebel.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of going out of my Christian comfort zone, as what my mom would probably put it as. But horrorcore has since kind of like dissolved since the 90s. You don't really see like many albums anymore outside of like maybe a couple exceptions. And then comes clipping. Out of the blue, bam, we're talking about cutting bodies up now, which, I mean, hey, I respect the hell out of. I'm as someone who loves horror and loves like Halloween, I was already up for an album like this, which is weird for me to say now, because my first listening experience to this record that we're talking about today was not a very pleasant one. In fact, honestly, I was kind of stupid, and I didn't realize, oh wait, this is a horror album. So imagine me.
It scared you? It's music, bruh.
Imagine me, like, in the middle
of
class. It's not really scary, but, like, in the middle of class, I'm just listening to it, and I'm like, oh, God. Oh, no. Like, I wasn't, like, screaming or anything. No, I was just kind of like, ugh.
Why were you nervous?
I don't know, honestly. I think my anxiety was kind of, like, me that day.
That's wild.
But I nowadays.
Eat a big fat gummy and listen to this.
Yeah, but nowadays this is not scary at all. It can be for someone who like doesn't know what they're getting into.
Putting my 12-year-old cousin on this.
Yeah, but I mean now it's like this is nothing. It's just like fun gore shit, which I'm not complaining. But anyways, without further ado, we might as well talk about these tracks, starting with simply intro. It's literally what you think it is. It's an intro. I didn't write down any real like specific lyrics for this one. I think honestly, as an intro, it's very bizarre because I don't know if you were reading the lyrics while you were listening to this album, but the lyrics for the intro references every single track on the album. Like it literally foreshadows everything.
That's good.
Yeah, which
I like what they do.
In a minute too, like only a minute. It's just foreshadowing. Bang, 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 bang. Here are the werewolves. Bang. Here are the vampires. Bang. Here is a piano burning. We'll get to that. And it's also like the production wise, it sounds like a field recording that like you would find from like a tape recorder in like the middle of the woods or something. You can even hear like the outside, like bugs and leaves and stuff, and that honestly, in my opinion, sounds really, really solid. And it's crispy too. Like I'm probably gonna say that word a lot when we're talking about this album. It sounds very, for lack of a better term, crispy and crunchy with its sounds. I'll elaborate more on that later, but as a whole, I mean, yeah, solid intro. It establishes the tone. It exactly like in only a minute gets you ready for what you're about to experience in the next hour and 8 minutes. And I thought that scream at like the final 5 seconds of the song was gnarly. I don't know who screamed, but I hope they're okay. I don't know if they're dead.
I think it'll be okay.
I hope so.
You know, the microphone couldn't pick up on it, but I was nodding as you spoke of the scream.
Mm-hmm. I think that was the first thing that like really caught me off guard.
The microphone's not picking up me fumbling around with it.
Kind of, but I mean, it'll be okay. This is like the most unprofessional professional podcast ever, so I mean.
Professional? We've never been professionals.
Whatever. Anyway, Nothing Is Safe. The first actual track. You didn't see this, people who listen to the podcast.
Basement Dweller
but
made a funny face. She
Basement
did the
Dweller.
tongue thing.
Yeah, she did the tongue thing. I'll pull up a GIF. But
I actually kind of can't remember how the song sounds. Between me and my little
I do.
yes,
For
we got a
one,
little rememberer here.
yeah. I mean, I've listened. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is apparently in like my top 10 most listened to songs of the year. Honestly,
Good.
it's right. Good.
Very good.
This song is. That's what I got. For
That's
one,
fruity.
yeah, for one, the John Carpenter influence on this track is extremely prominent. You can see a bit of like Halloween in the thing and Escape from LA like in the sound, which I love because I mean, if you don't know, the title of this album is a reference to like some random like 70s vampire movie from Italy, I think. And this isn't going to be like the last time we're going to have like some like horror movie influence. We'll get to that. But outside of like the gnarly synths and stuff, David's like flow and lyrics, oh my god, they're catchy as hell. Honestly, like I don't know if it's because like I'm just not like super familiar with like what David did before clipping, but for lack of like a very professional sentence, that motherfucker can rap. Like that guy is like fast when it comes to like his flows. It's honestly
really
insane.
well spoken.
Yeah, like there is not like a single like mistake in like any of his like performances on this record. It is like smooth as butter, and that like impresses the hell out of me because you know how like we live in a current age where like there are a lot of mumble rappers and stuff that like try to rap fast but it doesn't really sound good. Here comes David, just like barely know the someone. It was coming, it was creeping on, coming on, it's right up in your face. Face it,
It's
like
not
shit.
even an issue of who cares who's mumble rap? It doesn't matter because it's just music that people are making.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But the impressive part comes from the fact that you get all these words so tightly packed together, and it's the fact that a person can comfortably keep pronouncing this over and over. He hardly runs out of breath.
Exactly.
He's just a really good vocalist.
There's a track.
He's very well practiced.
There's a track later on that I'm going to talk about that like is a perfect example of this. But for now, yeah, David, he's the kind of guy that you don't really want to mess with. Lyrics wise, the meaning of the song that I got from it was that it's about a party going on in like a trap house, and cops are raiding said trap house and killing a bunch of like innocent folk. And the lyrics in particular, like they reference another John Carpenter movie, Assault on Precinct 13. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
No.
But yeah, like and also like it talks about like how life can slip at like any moment, because it's taught, because like there's a line around I think the second or third verse, death is coming for you but you already knew that. And it's also like mentioning how like they're the lifeless bodies on the floor with their eyes open, and for us normal like people, when you think of death you think of like it's like you close your eyes, you're resting in peace. But then here, in the point of view of the narrator for this track, it's like you see these bodies on the floor, their eyes are open, they have no sign of life. It's very disturbing, but also like quite real, because like that's how like some lives end. It's up, and it's like honestly like just a tragedy. But I mean, like other than like lyrics, I mean beat wise, again, very catchy, very Carpenter heavy. The what's the word I'm looking for? The bass drop near the pre-chorus, around like a min or 2 minutes into the song. That's really really good. And I should also mention the title of the track, Nothing Is Safe, is also, I found this out actually this morning, a reference to Jenny Holzer's inflammatory essay number 10. I have not read it, but if I remember correctly, Nothing Is Safe. Scared or safe. Anyway, that's all I have for Nothing Is Safe. He did.
I liked this one. This one was pretty cool.
He did. This was once my least favorite track on the album. Now it's one of my favorites, honestly, because I've like it grew on me since first listen. Lyrics wise, it's basically talking about like the issues of racism and police brutality, but it puts it in the point of view of the police officers being werewolves hunting you down. which is really cool, honestly, and also like very poetic. And it also references like the 3/5 compromise with with the lyric, "They want to take your power, oh no. They want to take you lesser, oh no." And it references also "Rigor Mortis" by Kendrick Lamar in the chorus. But for "Rigor Mortis," instead of the original song being about how you can declare the symbolic death of someone's career, the feature of this track, Ed Balloon, is basically taking it like actual, like they're referencing someone's like actual death, and for the context of the song, it's referencing like someone dying from a policeman. Which, by the way, I should mention, Ed Balloon as the feature, very solid. This album is full of features that I've never heard of, like personally, but their features here, it makes me want to go check out some of their other stuff, especially from Ed Balloon. Ed Balloon is like really phenomenal. Like he really sets you in the mood for like what story this song's telling you. And on top of that, the production like itself, it starts out very like ominous, but like just heavy bass. But over time, especially when you get to Ed's chorus, "Can you feel it everywhere? Are we dead?" It sounds more theatrical and, dare I say, heavenly, if that makes sense. And I really love it. Not to mention, again, this song's another example of how like well David is at rapping, because like again, constant flow, like what they say, you don't know, but I don't know the lyrics. But yeah, overall, I mean, he did great follow up to Nothing Is Safe. If Nothing Is Safe is like the more like club heavy track, then this is the more like ominous sounding one. Like,
Ominous.
Ominous. Sorry.
Said it twice.
Did I say it twice?
You did.
Damn it. You know what I mean. Basically, the last one was a party. This one is when shit goes real. It hits the fan, which then follows us with our first interlude for the album, Haunting. I really have nothing to say on Haunting. It's basically like another like field recording of a woman like talking about her haunted apartment. That's really it. It's cute. It fits the atmosphere of the album. Nothing really to say.
Yeah, I really liked this one. I really liked the descriptions she gave of all the interesting things that have been occurring in her apartment. I think just as I don't know where it's from, and I think I should look into it. But just as a piece of a collection of words, I think it's kind of inspirational. The things she describes, it's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan.
I think if I remember correctly, the sample that they had, it's not even from like a movie or from like an actual recording or anything. I think they made it for the album.
Oh, did they?
I'm not 100%
I figured
sure though.
they took it from like, you know, some real thing where it was like some actual girl having superstition or like some mental illness or like something like that.
Probably.
I don't know. But I figured it was more of an actual conversation somebody had with like a shrink.
Yeah, like it sounds real. So I mean, it probably is, but again, I am not 100% on that. My guess, like I looked at the Genius annotations. It mentions nothing about it being taken from like actual like study or anything. So
well, I guess that suggests it is on the just for the album.
Maybe
gosh.
I'm not 100%, but I mean overall, it's a nice interlude. It fits with the atmosphere. Cool. Yeah.
I like it because it sets up the future interludes.
Yeah.
There's a little interlude plot line.
There is, and we will get to that. Next track, I think this is your favorite?
This
La Mala Ordina.
This one was my favorite one. I really quite liked this one because it's specifically because of the sound design that was going on. So as you know, as it goes on and it gets really, you know, this long distorted bit at the end was really cool.
It was.
But I particularly went crazy for the bass sound that was used throughout most of the song. It's got this, I don't know, I guess there's this filter going up and down.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so cool.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I agree with you. This okay, and this was once this is gonna shock you, but I wasn't originally big like on this song. I thought it sounded a bit more basic than any of the others, which are a bit more experimental. I was freaking stupid. This is one of my favorites from the album, honestly. First off, wonderful production, like you mentioned. This one wasn't done by clipping themselves. This was the production was helped by one of our other features for the album, the Rita. And also, like lyrics wise, one of the first things said is a reference to Ed Gein with the victim skin line. My God, that's brutal, but honestly, I love it. The song lyrics wise, it's what I got from it is that it's basically comparing like the mafia to like the modern day like gangster lifestyle. And and I say this because the title of the track is a reference to a 1972 crime film called The Italian Connection. That is a translation of the actual track name, La Mala Ordina. And I don't know if you've like watched the music videos for some of these songs, but in the music video, you can see clips of the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
and that climax that you were talking about with the distorted noise, I wrote the climax is basically about how the rapper David is shown the realities of the mafia by falling victim of a mob. He then gets tortured and slowly bleeds out, which at point the song slowly devolves into a wall of noise. Which, by the way, that wall of noise, I don't know how like they achieved that, but God, that hurt my ears like the first time I listened to it. But
Try
my
it
God,
down. It's very well done.
it is very well done. Yeah, I love it. And the fact that it lasts a while to really like cements you like into this like dread.
It's a really great storytelling choice,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah, but I mean overall, I mean I thought the flows that David and the features, El Camino and Benny the Butcher, were groovy as shit, and they were very phenomenal. Also, there's a verse near the very like beginning of the song where like David gets into like very graphic detail about like how like about certain ways that like you can die, so like bash brains, clipping limbs, shitting blood. But yeah, I mean La Mala Ordina, phenomenal track. Honestly, I'm stupid thinking that this track was my least favorite back then. I really love it. Which then follows us with Club Down.
Going in from the distortion to the beginning of Club Down. I think Club Down was a really cool follow-up
Mm-hmm.
to the way that La Mala Ordina ended.
Yeah. For one, brilliant hook at the very beginning. Turn the lights off. There you go. Shut the club down. Shut the club down. Shut the club down. That's great.
Microphone didn't see me. I started grinning and I started nodding.
Uh-huh.
Really great little tune.
When I first listened to this song, I thought it was about a zombie apocalypse because there's a line involving zombies. It's not really the case. In retrospect, I think what I got from it now, it's basically like a brutal interpretation of like your basic like club track. But it strips away like any glamour or appeal of an inner city like gangster lifestyle. And it paints a
gangster lifestyle.
And it paints a
real way people
horrifying quote picture of human suffering and urban decay. That's what I got from it. And this is another song with a feature, Sarah Burnett. If you listen to the album, you're like, what's her verse? She's basically screaming for like in the background of the entire song, and Jesus Christ, it's like scary. I mean, like I guess like going back to like my first listen, like again, I didn't expect something like this, and I'm stupid in retrospect, but my God, it like kind of threw me off guard because like it sounds like she's getting like tortured, and it's awful. It's great and it fits the atmosphere, but it was not very pleasant.
Not pleasant. I think it was well done.
No, it was well done,
it
but
was
like
so cool.
No, I love it. But first listen to me, I was like, oh my
she
God.
knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. I'm really
Good
happy.
Scream in my
It's
song.
yeah. I wish I could scream like that, honestly, because it's so real. Like I had to take a step back first listen. Now it's I see the brilliance of it. Next track, it's another interlude, Prophecy. What I got is that I noticed on this listen, my most recent listen, that it's a manipulation of the final track of the album, Piano Burning. We will get to that track. But this track is basically foreshadowing the final song, Piano Burning. I didn't like realize this when I like was listening to the album like many times in the past, but now it's basically a foreshadowing which makes sense with the title of the track. It's a prophecy, you know? But overall, nice interlude again. Run for Your Life.
This one was so cool. Oh my goodness gracious me, oh my. It's such a nicely done like sound design, like just a piece of sound art.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've never heard something like it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This track, I'm with you. Oh my god.
I can imagine the way it was produced. I can think of creating something like this.
Yeah.
It's so it inspires.
Yeah,
for real.
It's insane. It blew my mind when I first listened to it. Like, okay, for the people that don't know, this track is basically about 2 point of views. One of a man running away from a serial killer, and the other being said serial killer. The point of, so for the guy running away from the serial killer, the beats are like passing by through like cars coming from the left and right channels.
Yeah, it's passing cars and stuff, but most of the song is done just pure a cappella.
Yeah, it's
and
spoken word.
He
pretty
keeps
much.
the entire the tempo is his to have
Mm-hmm.
because he's the one running.
Yeah.
It's really great.
And
sometimes the cars have it with him.
Yeah.
But they pass by 'cause they're faster than him, but he's got to run.
He does. Chorus, very catchy. Oh, get it right. Yeah, on his side. Like, you
I
know
liked
what she about you for
the bit
you ain't
crushing
scared, is it?
sort
Yeah,
of
that.
thing
Mm-hmm.
they did with the instrumentation, the choices.
Yeah, clipping do that a lot with their songs.
Very good. I love a good bit crush.
Yeah.
My.
Then we have the feature with La Chat. Again, never heard of her, but she's the serial killer on this track. Yeah, she's the highlight, honestly. Outside of, the cars passing by. But yeah, I loved her her
She's
chorus.
better than the cars. She's got more skill.
She's
She can
insane.
Outrun the cars and outrun the man.
Yeah. At the end of the track, La Chat gets her victim, and basically the victim gets Hannibal Lectered, if you will.
Very cool.
The guy got his face up, his body's cut up, he got fed to the pigs. Crazy shit. But yeah, overall phenomenal track. Might be my top, maybe my favorite of the album, production wise. This song blew me away. I want to know how a song like this was even conceived, because of how good it is. Holy shit, I loved it. Easily a highlight of the album for me. Same with the show. The show was really good too. Not as good as Run for Your Life, but still very solid. Basically, for the show, what I got was that it was in the point of view of someone watching one of those red rooms, which, if you don't know, at home are basically some urban legend that is on the deep web, where you can watch live streams of people getting tortured, and you could pick how they are tortured and stuff. It's very disturbing. We go through for this track again. We go through 2 different point of views, one of the viewer and one of the person actually getting tortured. Very disturbing, very graphic, very in your face. But it's also I can't believe I'm saying this for songs about people getting tortured. Very catchy. I really loved it. And one verse I would like to point out, or at least part of the verse I would like to point out, was the one where David goes through the muddy waters line to the wind line. Gotta reach the bottom, why you muddy waters with your hollow in for help. That is not an option, throw your caution to the wind and live within yourself. That.
Yeah. There you go.
It's really, really great. I love the show. It's really good.
Massive fan of the opening line though. See how the bone exposed.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
After the show, we get to our I think last interlude for the album, Possession.
Yeah, I loved this one. This shit was cool.
It was.
I don't know what the source is. I didn't look into it at all because I'm a bum. But really good choice. Quite evocative, in my opinion.
Yeah. Again, like with Haunting, I think this was also made for the album because I couldn't find the sample for this anywhere.
Really?
I am assuming this too because this track or interlude introduces a character named Cynthia. Remember this for later. But yeah, I mean, basically it's for the most part the tracks it's something that sounds out of like a random horror movie. And there's a doctor, and Cynthia's talking to said doctor, or I think scientist, I forgot. I think doctor, and the doctor basically possesses her. It's very creepy, very interesting, and again fits with the overall atmosphere of the record. Which kind of, I'm gonna go on a bit of a side tangent here. If you buy the vinyl for this album, the interludes, they're not even on the album. And that kind of pisses me off because I feel like they're part of the experience.
Part of the plot, you know?
Yeah, you miss out, but whatever. Apparently the reason why they did it was because they want, like, for their vinyls, they want DJs to use them. But honestly,
Actually, that's really cool.
it's cool, but
wow.
but it's also sad because like I can only think of like maybe one or two like DJs that would actively use clipping as a part of their sets because they're not that popular.
Maybe you don't know all the DJs.
That is fair, though. That is fair, but I don't know. But anyway, that was Possession, and then that segues into the next track, All in Your Head, brilliantly too.
You quite liked this one.
I did. I really liked this one, because for one, David, he sounds evil. He's very like his delivery on like any of his verses, like I can't speak. His delivery on his verses in this track are very like mellow, very dramatic, and they're like very spaced out. And not to mention the beat or the production is like this heavy bass noise that's distorted, and then like I'm assuming like some like cans or like ice cubes or whatever kind of like shaking like in the background. If you listen to the song, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it sounded very like demonic, and I really liked it. And in between David's verses, it goes to like this spoken word interlude kind of from Robin Hood. It's and her verses, or not verses, her like spoken word passages are basically about like her criticizing like like religion and like the lifestyle of like a prostitute, that sort of stuff. And also, of course, possession. We go back to the possession stuff from the last track, or the last interlude, and that all builds up to the final verse performed beautifully by Sharon Udo. I hope I pronounced that last name right. Where she references both the movie The Exorcist and how our souls are lost once we die. And while she's performing this like very gospel heavy verse, slowly the music starts to ramp up and it starts becoming like distorted. And honestly, like this is just what I imagine. It sounds like you're like passing through the other life, if that makes sense. But yeah, All in Your Head, one of my favorites from a production standpoint. I really liked this track.
All in Your Head, to speak on all in, can't speak. Goddamn. I really liked the bass choice again. I'm quite a big fan of bass choices. Speaking on All in Your Head, 'cause there's when they're having the drums and the percussion choice is kind of clinky, like these pieces of factory banging together, banging and clanging, and the bass is a sort of sound that reminds me of like unplugged amp chords whenever they're making that buzzy B flat, the v, you know.
Yeah.
It's just such a good. I don't know how they made that sound specifically in studio, and of course it's not the exact and same intended sound. It's really good. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Bits of this album kind of give me a bit of a Thomas Dvorak kind of vibe.
Never heard of him.
He made the soundtrack on Machinarium. He's very good at sound design for machines and
industrial.
Yeah, I mean, sort of things like that. Just he knows his worlds. But let's Blood of the Fang.
Blood of the Fang is lyrics wise my favorite track on the album. I love this song.
It's a really good listening experience.
It is, especially if you have a good pair of headphones. That bass, sounds amazing.
You moan like a gay boy.
Sorry. Blood of the Fang, lyrics wise, it's without a doubt the most political sounding song on the album. Basically, it's talking about the violent history of racism and how we need to push hard more on the right rather than just discuss it. And it's also tying this in with civil rights leaders being portrayed as vampires who died temporarily and wake up craving more blood. That's what I got from it. And the vampire thing ties in with the sample that's at the very beginning of the track, which is the same vampire movie that I mentioned earlier. I think if I remember correctly, it came from a movie trailer with said sample. I forgot the name of the movie, but it was some 70s Italian vampire movie slop. Or okay, maybe not slop, but like.
That has vampires. It can't possibly be slop.
Well, the 70s were a different time for horror movies, but
maybe so.
Maybe, I don't know. But David, he sounds pissed. He sounds pissed on this song, and I love it. And this is another one of the tracks where like he goes like super fast near the end of the song, and it's so good. I love it. Like I literally I don't know how to phrase it. It's so good. I love it. I don't know how he achieved like this amount of speed when it comes to like his rapping again, but like still, holy crap, it's phenomenal.
Radio good pronunciation, flow state.
Yeah.
You got the zone.
Yeah.
Like the lightning in his eyes and such.
I also want to talk about the music video for this song. I don't know if you probably haven't seen it.
No.
The music video, I haven't seen it in a minute, but from what I can remember, it's basically David. He's playing some characters. There's he plays a character that's like on he's on something and he's latched up, and is like about to like get crucified or something. And then he also plays a doctor who, I kid you not, performs surgery on a gun. He cuts the gun open.
They did surgery on a gun.
He cuts it open. You see the gun's guts, and he eats it.
That's really great.
Yeah.
A big fan. I'll have to watch that.
I'm probably gonna pull it up. Story 7. Story 7. All right, I gotta fill you in on this. Why is it called Story 7?
Why is
I
it
will
called
tell
Story
you.
7?
So with most, if I remember correctly, with every clipping project, outside of their last 2 albums, there is a story that's numbered, and these stories, they all kind of interconnect with each other. They usually have the same characters, and they all have.
This is good.
And every single story track has something to do with the theme of the album. So like I think with Story 2, that's on the self-titled. Story 5, I think, is for Splendor and Misery. Each all have the same characters. So for Story 7, same characters, but with the horror backdrop. And remember Cynthia?
Cynthia's back.
Cynthia's back.
Hi, Cynthia.
Yeah. Cynthia is back, and she's a werewolf. She's out for blood. And the story for this track basically begins from the perspective of another woman named Kimberly. She finds evidence that her significant other, Steve, is having an affair with Cynthia. As she enters the house, she finds Steve dead on the floor and scratches everywhere as Cynthia flees the scene. And Cynthia is still hungry for sex and bloods, so she heads to a bar where she encounters Randy, the cop from the first story track. She seduces him and then leaves the bar together and get into a taxi. The taxi driver, however, shoots Cynthia with a silver bullet before she can do anything to Randy, because, werewolf. And the story ends with a girl named Trina, who is in story 4, watching everything unfold through her bedroom window. She then returns to sleep as she thinks that this is all just events of a bad dream. That
Cynthia
story
knows what's up. I like her.
Yeah. Production-wise, I like how with every single track, every single verse, it's in a different tempo.
I was gonna say, I think the time signatures. I think, forgive me for I've just put it on it again in my ear, and I'm listening to it. But the time signatures going on throughout a given verse.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the choices for the percussion.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds very cool.
Story 2 from their self-titled does that same exact thing,
Oh,
but
yeah?
to a faster degree. Yeah.
Wow.
I recommend listening to that in your spare time. But yeah, my favorite verse, time signature wise, is the last one where it's kind of on rhythm, and in the drums are how do I do this? Like that. While David is basically sounding or rapping the lyrics she licked her lips and started batting on his neck. You see what's crazy about this between the hugs and the kisses? It's that. I really am a big fan of that. delivery. The others were really good too, but that one in particular, it's like it hits really hard with me, honestly. That's what I have for Story 7, which leads to our second to last track on the album, Attunement, which is one that I'm not, like, I don't listen to often. I don't remember much from it, but I do have a couple things to say. For Attunement, basically what I got was that this song describes the feelings of dread and suicide. And David is echoing the thoughts of someone on the brink of ending their life, continuously encouraging them to take the leap, basically. So go kill yourself, basically.
Very cool. Microphone couldn't see it. I had a big grin on my face.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool.
Yeah. And this is another track with like some very harsh noise.
Yeah, I was gonna say the sound design. You put it in that context, and it's like, whoa, wow.
Yeah. It's a very great track. I wish I had more to say about it, but
I really enjoy that. You know, they get these whole songs with a harsh, noisy sound design like this, and you can tell that throughout the thing, it was actually intentionally designed, which sounds like it shouldn't be worth pointing out. But whenever it comes to like producing stuff, it's very easy to just not want to intentionally work through all of the pieces of your song to make them really work with your song whenever you already have this like sound that you like. And they go through the whole song, and I mean, he cared what he was writing about.
mm-hmm.
He went in and he detailed all the little productions.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I
I
suppose
sound
so too.
insane.
We all sound insane here. Whoa, music maniacs. Wow.
The FL Studio. I'm not an FL Studio one trick. I play on that LMMS actually.
But
She doesn't know what she's talking about.
but that was Attunement. Again, I wish I had some more things to say, but I mean overall it's a pretty strong track, which leads us to our final most theatrical sounding track on the album.
Theatrical sound?
Piano burning.
I
it's just 18 minutes of a piano burning. That's all.
I was
it's
gonna
not
say,
theatrical.
I didn't get the chance to listen to it much. I clicked through it the first time, after realizing there was just gonna be a lot of burning.
Yep.
And I figured there was song in between.
Nope.
Because I did not quite get the. Both times I put the album on, I had to just skim this and then leave.
No, you're not.
Which is unfortunate because I think the title is very evocative, and I really want to know all the meanings of it.
We'll get to that.
You're going to tell me everything.
I will. No, piano burning is literally just 18 minutes of what do you think? There are no lyrics, no instrumentals. It's just a field recording of a piano burning. That's it. It's not like, again, obviously this is my least favorite song on the album, but it's not really a song. It's more of a performance piece more than anything. But with the theme of the album, I think it's a very fitting conclusion, because if Attunement was basically like you on like the brisk of death, then piano burning is basically just you're dead. You can't do anything. You're in spectator mode, for lack of a better term. You're stuck. You can't do anything. It's the end. Goodbye. And like what I said earlier with the interlude Prophecy, it was basically just like foreshadowing it. It was that interlude was basically foreshadowing the death of our character in Attunement. So that's all. 18 minutes piano burning. It's a very good ASMR, if I'll be honest. Like I can imagine someone sleeping to flipping. But that, my friends, wraps up There Existed an Addiction to Blood, the great horror album it is. Overall thoughts and opinions, Basement Dweller?
I think it's a really good, as a whole thing, like a cinematic experience. All the pieces of the puzzle, they were put together for the point of telling you a tale, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend this album. It's really cool.
Yeah. Got you on that clipping shit.
You sure did.
Finally, I can talk to someone about how good clipping is. But no, my personal opinion, it took a while for me to fully get into it. But with every listen I have for this album, my praise gets higher and higher. I love this album. I love how weird it is. I love how experimental. the tracks are. I love David's like uh uh David's rapping. I love the production by William and Jonathan. I love the horror backdrop. It makes a very interesting theme with the record because we don't see horror albums really that much anyway. Lyrics are very smart. Some great social commentary. Production was insane. It's a very weird but very phenomenal album. With interludes, I would say it's an 8 out of 10. Without the interludes, honestly, it's a 9 out of 10. The interludes are fun, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's maybe just a little bit too many of them.
No, other way around for me, honestly. The interludes are integral.
Yeah, they
for
fit
me
the
to the
atmosphere.
experience and the story that you're meant to partake in.
Mm-hmm. For a full experience, I'd say that the interludes are great, but if I'm going back to the album, I probably would skip them, honestly, because I mean, outside of like maybe two, they're like they don't really bring like integral re-listens for me at least. But who am I to say? I'm the Joe Rogan of music, so don't listen to me. But anyway, yeah, Clipping, There Existed an Addiction to Blood, phenomenal, love it. Go listen to it if you haven't. If you're not big into horror, you're probably not gonna get much out of it. But if you are, you're in for a treat, especially now considering it's almost Halloween. But we are not done. Like what we spoiled earlier, there, of course, like every other horror movie, there's a sequel. Tune in next week where we're going to be talking about the sister album to this record, Visions of Bodies Being Burned, which is, without saying much, possibly even better than this record.
Well.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. That's all I really have. Thank you for listening to Music Manic. I'm very grateful for your time. If you want to see what I'm up to, go follow the official Music Manic Instagram. I don't do much, but I promote shit sometimes, so go listen to that. But yeah, have a early happy Halloween, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye, Maniacs.
Goodbye, Maniacs.